So, without wasting any time, guys, let's talk about It's Almost Dry, boy. This is the
Oh,
newest album from Pusha T, me, Virginia's own.
right.
And this is a follow up to, well, I would say easily his magnum opus and one of the best albums of the past decade. That'll be Daytona, right?
Right.
Um, and I'll just do like a little track by track review of it quickly, and you could just share your thoughts on it, right?
Right. Right.
So, for me, right, like I know for a lot of people, especially like how the height that we put Daytona, right? So it was since like what 2018, right? So
Right.
it's like, all right, it's 2022. Not I wasn't personally I wasn't expecting Pusha to kind of like craft like some sort of some great masterpiece that's gonna outshine everything that he ever did, right?
Right.
All I was just really looking forward to is, okay, he's a coke rap, technician when it comes to his wordplay and whatnot. So let's just see what he brings to the table, right? He put out the still awesome single, Diet Coke, which we were bumping for days and days and days since
Mhm.
that dope ass music video dropped. And then in pure drug dealer fashion, he teased us, right? He gave us the Diet Coke EP. And we were like, yes, this is the release. And then what we got Diet Coke for one thing. That was the first track, and everything else was just stuff that he put out from before.
Right.
Stuff from Daytona, My Name Is My Name, and a little collaborative record, single, sorry, that he did with Rick Ross and Kanye, right? That was it, right? And we were all like, geez, man, like how you gonna do that, Push? Man, how you gonna do that, man? But tell myself, this is like the little tease, the little test run. Like, let's see, let's give them a little sample first, and then I'll hit you all with the real thing afterwards, right? And so says so done, So on the day of April 22nd, he actually dropped it, right? Before we you get to like track reviews, right? I just All right, so I'll just give my general opinion of the album, right? So
Right.
for me, I absolutely enjoy this though, right?
Yeah.
But what I would say though, just as a little warning for those who go in it blind, right? Um, I would say that don't expect this to be, at least in my opinion, to be better than Daytona. Because personally, I think that Daytona is better. The reason
Agreed.
is simple.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah.
Because it's two artists, it's Kanye and Pusha.
Right.
Their job was, all right, we
That.
craft this album under 25 under a half hour. Let me
Right.
just see how much value and content we could put in it. And that's what he did. There was
That's
no
the thing. Yeah. That's the
room
thing
for
with
error with this.
That's the thing with Daytona was lean.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daytona
it
was
was lean.
absolutely lean. Like
No fat at all.
no fat, lean. Like just in and out. But this now is both Pharrell and thing. Anybody else was producing
Well,
it?
well, Pharrell and Kanye makes
And Wells. And Wells. Anybody else?
you mean in terms of production?
Yeah.
Kanye does a few things. Labyrinth, who comes in the end, he does some things.
Okay.
AD Keys do a few things. Well, of course, he work on Diet Coke, right? But
Right.
it's mainly Pharrell Williams. He's
Right.
front and center, and Kanye
Right.
it shows up ever so often, right?
Okay. Right. And yeah, that's the thing. If it was just Pharrell, it might be better. I don't know. Like that's just my 2 cents on that. Like I really felt
I would have preferred if it was more of Malice, which you'll get to. If
Well,
it was
right,
like
right,
two
yeah,
of
but
them
that's
together,
another thing.
if it
Right.
technically was Eclipse album and it was just Pharrell throughout, I'd have been like, yeah,
Right.
this
Right.
works.
So
This
maybe that too.
works.
Yeah, that's a possibility. So I really right. So yeah, more Malice. But to me, if it was just all Pharrell, just as his production, but much like how Ye had his entire focus and it was excellent. I felt it really needed the Pharrell thing. And it's not to say I don't like I think the album weak or anything like that. But yeah, it just had that slight disjointedness compared to how Daytona just was it was just like straight line, lean, nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing they had to skip, no nothing. That's like it is straight. I'd say pure untouched, right? So
Yeah. Pure touch, pure cut, right?
pure
But with
uncut,
this though, just to wrap up my quick thoughts, right? Here it just kind of feels like, like let me just be a little loose for a little bit. That's push. Let me just be a little loose. Let me try a new like a cadence of a soft. And this is one thing I have to give credit to the album for. He always switches things up. He will never rap the same way. He will never, use the same sort of like cadence or whatnot. He will always switch things up with each track, right? He will try new beats, right? He will collaborate with new artists. He will reunite with old artists, right? So it has a much more relaxed kind of vibe. Like, like with the two, and it was all like, all right, we need to get this thing done. And there's no room for error. Here it's just like, I could kind of rock back and chill a little bit and trial some, right? But
Right.
still, the quality is there. Like from in terms of bars, he comes through with this top quality, right? The production for the most part works, right? There's a couple where I kind of like, but no, it's like, okay, that's garbage. I don't need to hear this ever in my life, right? And I even thought that the guest features as well too were solid as well. Even Kanye, even his little contributions here or there was solid, right? But
Right.
again, just to wrap up here and then you get to your thoughts, Ricardo. Still, I think that if you have Daytona and such like on a pedestal, don't go into this one expecting this to be Daytona 2 or even better than it, right?
Right.
But it is still another top quality Pusha T album, and right now, yeah, that's all we want, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Ricardo, what are your quick thoughts, man?
Oh no, yeah, fully satisfactory album, but yes, I can't in good conscience put it above Daytona. Yeah, but it's still up there for me. Working comparison because I with my basic bitch rap opinions. If Daytona is still Matic, this is Godson, right? Still great, not as good as the previous. That's all I'll say, right?
Right.
And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I just again heavy rotation, rule of thumb. How much time I listen to it on my walks, and it like usually I'll have my best playlist. This completely supersede my best playlist for the last week. Like usually I just have my best playlist just playing random Dipset or something like that on my best playlist or Styles P or something like that. No, this was running the whole week. That is a good sign. So yeah, so yeah, let go.
All right, nice. So track one, we have Brambleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is produced by Pharrell, right? So this more or less has to deal with his former manager, Anthony Jeezy Gonzalez, right? Now I don't know the full details, but apparently there was some kind of animosity between the two of them.
Right.
Following this, I think it's before, but it's really this interview that Jeezy did on DJ Vlad, right? His YouTube channel, right?
Right.
Back in 2010. And off Pusha's verses, it's clear that they're not going to see eye to eye anytime soon, right? Because basically he's just recalling memories of times where they spent hustling, splurging, buying cars, and all that kind of stuff, holding each other down and whatnot. But apparently Jeezy really said some stuff that just really like crushed Pusha's spirit though,
Right.
and pretty much ended their trust there. So he stated basically, Pusha said that this is a very personal song. Lyrically, it does show that there's a lot of attention to details, a lot of stuff like, yeah, this was me back in
so
this year, whatnot, blah blah blah.
Yeah, so the first time I picked up this was connected to some dramas when I think Pusha had this really long review with what do I call him? Breakfast Club.
Charlemagne the God.
Right, but yeah.
I need to watch that.
Yeah. I watched the entire interview. It's something about the interview was bothering me. It had a bunch of like weird little technical problems that nerdy, borderline, autistic me was kind of picking up on. That was just bothering the hell out of
okay. I know he's a man who does like he have like multi-camera stuff. So
no,
it's not that, right? Okay.
Well, it's not so much not multi-camera stuff. It was a multi-camera setup, but apparently it was like it had some like the color correction was off on a couple of them. When you'll see it, you'll see it. And then the song that the song I think cut out for a couple of his mic stuff. So like they decided to so like the mic shut off or whatever it is. Like it has had a bunch of technical problems. So it looked like, and it's mostly on-set stuff. Like it sorry to say that sometimes that stuff just happens. Yeah, just had to go through the interview. Pushes a busy man. They have time to reshoot, right? So whatever, it's fine. But anyway, the interview was excellent though, by the way. And that's when I picked up that it had some big drama. Like, oh shit, Brambleton. Okay, this is a thing. I'm looking out for this out. Apparently it's the first track, cause like, oh, drama on top. Air out the T one time, like would. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I love that. I love that he just kind of gets out to the way first. You know what I mean? So it's a dope opener, man. Dope opener, right? It's no if you know, you know, but it's a dope opener nonetheless, man.
Right.
But yeah, any quick thoughts on Brambleton?
Yeah. Again, I was only looking to it for the drama. Yeah, I was only looking to it for the drama for it, and I don't know what to pick up on. So like with me learning about what went on, usually with just a little bit of research, you'll find out all the tea and whatever it is, and then I'll just listen to the material as it is after the fact, and then get into it. Now. So yeah, a good track, but I don't know what to look for, like lyrically. Now. So this one needs multiple listens to get into all the drama and make it work.
Right. Or you could do like me and just hit up Genius. That's how I find out all these things. Hit up Genius. Yeah. Genius will give you I should say still, as much.
That's the thing. Genius is still misreal things. Like you see, it have layers to lyrics now. Like and it's how lyrics come together. Like they'll explain it, but then you'll miss something, and I don't have time to like write for genius to tell them, oh, no, you missed this tiny thing. Because I know journalists or not, like I don't care enough. But it still have stuff.
Right. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so next track is Let the Smokers Shiny Coops, right? So for me, right, first few listens before going up on Genius and Wikipedia and seeing who produced who, right? I really swear this was a Kanye beat, because of how the samples were kind of eccentric. The let up, right? That you hear periodically, you know what I mean? But this honestly was a beat that took a while for me to get into. It's a Pharrell beat, by the way. But what really makes it work though is that bass line, that do.
Right.
Like when you hear that coming, it's like, oh shit.
All right, so
you know what I mean?
yes, that's a big factor. So why I've been enjoying this album so much. So I get a new headphones as I was saying from before, right? I'll tell you off camera. From before. This headphones is like I don't know if anybody know it is a Aeropex headphones, but it is basically bone headphones. It is getting to your bone, so it just pick up bass better.
Okay.
Yeah, this new headphones.
Huh?
This new headphones truly fantastic for music now. And it's perfect time with this, and it delivered in my house I think the night Pusha T album was launching, it delivered just that afternoon now. I'm like, all right, let me try it one time. And then when I see on Twitter, it's like, yeah, album out, blah blah blah. I just fire up thing one time and then put it on. And like, well, would yeah. It's like, enjoy this album.
But the bass line, slaps though. My God, right? And then like the more I listen, the more kind of how I see it. It's like this is like the intro theme to some gangster, some kind of movie that it's something about that. It sounds so like triumphant, you know what I mean? Majestic, sorry, not triumphant, really, right? And basically lyrically, what I picked up from it is just basically saying that Pusha could more or less splurge and buy whatever he wants, but at the same time, it's pretty much the fiends who have nothing compared to him who kind of make him who he is, right? So it's kind of like, I have to kind of show my, appreciation of you guys, because if it wasn't for you, my product wouldn't sell, Connect wouldn't give me money, so, right? So that's why the hence the title, the Smokers Shiny Coops, right? But overall, not one of my favorite tracks per se, but if you just look at it as just like gangster entrance music, though, this shit will work for you, right? But what were your thoughts on this track here?
Yeah, solid second track. It's not a big listening tracker. It's not, I don't skip it or anything like that. But it's like, it's solid, player and follow up for the second track. But again, I have myself waiting for a third track now. I know what that track is. So it's like,
Okay, yep. Well, I hope I know what it is, right? So up next we have "Dreaming of the Past."
Yes.
This is hands down one of the best joints on this album, though.
Fantastic sample.
Kanye's moody, soulful, and oh my god, that Donny Hathaway sample,
yes.
Yeah. Very reminiscent of like what he did off of of course the Kanye's work, period. But I talk about like what he did on Daytona. It's very, very reminiscent of that. But when I heard that, I was like, the band's back together.
Listen, Kanye, look, you need help, my brother. You need real help, but you're still bringing the heat, though. You're still bringing the heat.
and speaking of Kanye, right? For a hot minute, I swear that was him saying, "I got plenty." It's so many, yeah.
Me too.
When I went to Genius, like, wait, okay.
Yeah, for me,
again, try new things out. That's why I give this album credit. He's not staying in one particularly. He's doing different things. I love that, right?
Yeah.
And he comes through with some of the best bars in the album, just bar none. In three verses, he just dropping like just standout lines. So, like for example, like he says, "Not me, they censor and block me. You hollering top 5, I only see top me." Yeah. And we would bagging up the work. Won't be no dishes, be no Christmas mistletoes, be no kisses. Yeah. I just love that. I love that. Love that delivery, right? Kanye's verse is short and decent for what it is, though. And of course, he had to mention the family. He had to mention what's going on, with the line where he says, "When daddy's not home, the family's in danger," right? But I like that.
Exactly. That's why it had me like, you need help still. Like, this is a problem. Like,
I know. But it did stick with the theme of, I have all this, but you don't know how the dirt that I had to do to get these things, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. So overall, love this track, man. Any thoughts on Dreaming of the Past?
Yeah. As I say, it just again, fire sample, just come in and bring in good heat. And again, that's where the album started to start up for me, because like, I don't know. You see, again, lyrically, I don't know what to pull from with the first track now, because I don't know the drama behind the scenes. So I was like, all right, well, I just listening to it, but I don't know what to pull from it, meaning wise now. But then I was like, but so it didn't hold on to me. But this is where it started now. It's like, yeah, okay, this album start here. Would.
Yeah. All right, up next we have the single Neck and Wrist, right? Now, I'll confess, right? Pharrell's beat did take a while to grow on me, but the more I listened to it, the more it really stuck to me. But it has this sort of part drug using, parts drug selling, like kind of sleazy. It's almost like you're watching some kind of like sleazy 80s, noir film or whatever, right? It just has that kind of vibe about it, right? Pusha is just so cocky and repugnant on this track too, but I love it. And just the flow of it, I know it's very much 50 Cent inspired. It reminds me a lot like what he did, on Window Shopper. That it's very reminiscent of that, right?
And the big shock with this track is Jeezy don't even sound like Jeezy on this. Like it's like Jeezy dread, like it hit me. But the song is a different approach to style. Like go look at this point. I think our colleague, other rap aficionado, Vlad P. Boyce himself, right, Doughboy, made a point. He's like, yeah, we cannot have a Jay-Z, a Jay-Z Pusha T collab at this point because, like,
thank you.
About that.
I agree.
Yeah, like we need some collab because look, since we call it Drug Dealers Anonymous, like it was like
I forgot about that. Wow. Yeah.
But since then, it's like, it's a shocking, we never really get like a good Jeezy collab with Pusha, like we need that. Like that whole selling drugs back in the 80s, that. We need to like get into that conceit and make it work now. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And I love how he's not trying to say, well, I sold more coke than you, blah, blah, blah. He just talk about where he's at right now, what he up to. But then, he is Jeezy, right? So, he always have to say something that can have, like, the rap world going nuts, right? So, I love the last few bits where he's talking about, he's just addressing the issue that, the reason why he get big is because, well, Biggie died, right? He could be like, no,
right.
like,
this was the highlight of it,
no, that's not the case at all, right? I just love how you address that, right? And overall,
because that's something a lot of people like to still do. Like, I think it's an incredibly bad faith argument.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I really glad
that he kind of pushed up to be the king of New York because he died.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But other than that though, this song works for me though. Even Pharrell's post chorus is okay. And the dope house had a line. Like there's moments in it. In it. Sorry. But the more I give this track a listen to, the more I know I really enjoy this one, man. So what are your thoughts on Neck and Wrist?
Yeah. Again, solid track. Really, really enjoy it for what it is. It just holds the conceit really, really well. And again, we kind of need a Jay-Z Pusha T collab for real.
All right. So next off, we have another one of my favorite joints here. Just so you remember. Oh my God, right? So the 6 Day War sample, right? It's from this rock group called Colonel Backshot. Never knew this, right? Until literally today, right? It should be recognizable to those who, if you remember this song 60s remix from DJ Shadow, it was on Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and the Tokyo stuff, you always hear that piece of music, that it's just Monday, right? You hear that, right? I just butchered it, sorry, right? But the back-end production for this, though, is so icy. It's so tense, way. And it really sounds like you just, like, it sounds so cinematic as well, to like, almost like you are watching a scene out of some kind of grimy action flick, right? And speaking of that, though, Pusha just comes through with some of the most cold-blooded bars I have ever heard from this guy, Dread. He sounds literally like he just have a gun to your temple. I just spitting these bars directly in your ear, and it's just all about assertion and dominance in the coke game, more or less reminding rivals and competitors who exactly dealing with, right? Dude, the last line, the first verse alone, though, the Book of Blood, there's no omnigenesis. I mean, come on. So yeah, fucks with this track, man. Yeah, thoughts on just so you remember.
Yeah, good track. I think it'll stick with me as much as it only because in anticipation for the two following tracks. Because but when I first listened to it, it's like, this is a solid track. Have it bumping, have it going, and it have it.
Yeah. I actually would love to hear the song in a movie, like it's some sort of like King of New York kind of movie, some gangster movie. Sorry, like that would work perfectly in that, like take the deep cover song from Snoop and Dr. Dre. This would be perfect for that, right? Up next is of course Diet Coke.
Of course.
First single of the album, and easily one of the catchiest songs Pusha T ever put out, right? Kanye's beat alone, boy, it's something about them pianos. And but for me personally, the secret sauce of that whole track though is the DJ cuts, boy. When you
Yeah,
hear Factual, the crack, 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 crack. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. Love that. It just almost kind of have your way to do like a little crip walk every time you hear it. Love me like crack. It love me. Yeah, like when you
Mhm.
hear that, though, it sounds really, really dope, right? But yeah, I mean, and you could tell that Pusha just having a blast in this beat. Like the
Yeah,
video, I swear, like he was just on a couch, just leaned back, just spitting bars. Like he
just
wasn't
chilling.
stand up
Yeah.
in no boot, you know. He was just on a couch, just spitting.
Hard.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, this has this relaxed vibe over. Like, yeah, I have more money than you, bro. So I don't even have to do much on it there, but he does a lot on this too.
Yeah.
But yeah, great track, and of course, perfect use of, and you know, I had to be school on this, right? So it wasn't from the Fat Joe and Ja Rule IG the versus battle. This was off of his IG live. That yesterday's price is not today's price.
Right.
He brought it up in the versus, but I thought it was from the versus. It was like, no, it's from IG live. That yesterday's price is not today's price. And that's the truth, bro. That's
Yeah.
that's facts. So
That,
yeah,
that is, that
well,
is a
I know
fact.
you love that, Cook. So yeah, tell me why else,
Of course.
what other reason why you love it.
Oh boy, it's just a track that just stick with you. You know, it up there with Daytona. Was Daytona's first big track up with.
If you know, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that, you know, sticking with your grimy ass lyrics, it have you going. And yeah, it just real hard. It's like I listen, this track is probably the track I played like what when it came out, like 2 weeks ago? How long it came out? Like a month?
No, it came out about a month or two ago.
A month or two, right? Yeah.
I
But
tagged
still,
you in
yeah.
the video, bro.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to the date, you know,
Yeah.
time fuzzy for me now. So like yeah, it is like I think since pretty much it came out, I found myself playing it a ton. It's shocking. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hard. Just I still just play it a lot. I find myself playing it a ton with respect to, again, heavy rotations, your rule of thumb. And yeah, can't be mad with that. It's like just fantastic sample. Yeah, I can't be mad. Can't be mad.
Right. So up next we have Rock and Roll.
Yes.
So again with
this is
Pharrell.
my favorite track on the album.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But again with Pharrell on this
Yeah.
album trend. For a hot minute, I swore this was all Kanye, though. Because
For
I
real,
keep
eh?
hearing this sample, this
that's
Chipmunk
still,
Soul sample. I like, all right, this is a Kanye beat now. When I come home, oh, it's Pharrell who did the drums and Kanye who kind of
Right.
did the sample in
Because
there. Like, what?
the thing with the Pharrell thing is that it only have really the kind of one way to test if it's a Pharrell beat, and is the whole four thing in the beginning. That dun da 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 da.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I know
Like,
what you mean.
it's a no, kind of. But like this one was like, wait, there's a Pharrell beat? I'm not, what's going on here? I'm not sure what's going on here. And it's like, oh, they kind of work on it together. But it have a single reason. You'll get to it. I'm sure you're going to mention it. But there's a single reason why this is my favorite track. Because of this amazing goddamn bar he put on. I'm like, well, wood. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I think I know what it is, though. But yeah, if I don't bring it up, then you could mention it because I actually
Right.
didn't mention. I didn't write down any lyrics in my notes here for this one, right? But basically the reason why you should care about this track is, you know, according to Kid Cudi, it's the last time
Right.
in quotes that you will hear him and Kanye on a track together. Last time. I still have my fingers crossed. I still think we're gonna get a Kinsey Ghost too. But hey, for all we know, it's probably the last, though, right?
Yeah.
Now, Pusha, for me, he comes out of this track the winner. His verses were just straight flames throughout, though. Kanye's verse is fine, though. And I, of course, he had to make it about the divorce, right? But, I mean... But he sounded really convincing, though. Like, he sounded like he just really, like, want to maneuver. He want to get out of this thing and, you know, keep his family safe and all that good stuff, right? Personally, I wish that we got a little bit more out of Cudi because all he just does is he hook, which is solid, and a post chorus, right? Sorry, he does a bridge. Sorry, but other than that, though, the beat is really what sticks with you there, especially that sample and how it just wobbles and swims in your brain. Basically, like once you hear it, you cannot unhear it. Trust me, it will stay in your brain, Dred. It will stay in your brain, right? But yeah, this track was pretty solid though. Even though again, I just wish that we just got a little more out of Cudi because again, last time we're gonna hear him, right? So any matter of verse, like I know he does hooks well and shit, but give him a hook. Give him a verse now. Shit. Anyway, but yeah. Well, thoughts on rock and roll, why you love it so much, and what was the line that stuck absolutely
Well,
most?
yeah, at the start with the line, I've been getting these coins and breaking down the brick, making the jump
Oh,
up to each level Super Mario exists.
Super
Yeah,
Mario exists.
all these food, no, but
Dog,
I real hard though.
I
And then,
mean,
yeah, and then
he
all
talking
these,
about no, like he could have just left it at bricks, but
yeah,
I mentioned coins too.
coin,
I'm like, what?
in my head, I never think I would have made that connection in my head. It's like, dog, that's like a perfect fucking connection, though. And then then it follows it up, which is great, which is and then it have a bunch of a bunch of photoshops because of this line too. I'm the trap, I'm the fix, I'm the broker, I'm the joker, I'm the jack, I'm the deck, Arthur Fleck when he's pissed 666.
666, yeah.
Bruh.
I mean,
Bruh.
that,
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with this. Like, yeah. That is put us on the. You can't just keep waiting for this amazing line there. And for all this, I think Pusha T says probably one of his favorite lyrics as well. It's like, yeah, they just come together so well.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
But when you talk about kids, he goes and their contribution to the track.
Yeah, no, it real hard. Like, it's like he bring it in verse and like, yeah, the nice one, can he come true? And it's like, yeah, as you say, is a shame that he only did the bridge. I think he did this, and then if I understand, Beyonce on this track too.
No, that was his sample. And that just blew my mind. I just keep hearing it, but you'll hear it when you hear the two. Right, that's how she was saying it. In that I was like, oh, okay. Now I get the connection. Cause I was like, wait, Beyonce, you serious? When you hear the two at the very end, it's like, oh, okay, you're right, yeah.
But yeah, it's just a great hook and bridge that you bring in. I enjoy a lot of that. But yeah, as I say, it's a shame that you didn't do more with it, man. And well, I can understand why Cudi would be separated from West because come on, Cudi was seriously toxic right now and is a problem. So it's like, yeah, this guy gonna work out until years later, baby. So yeah, I understand.
I guess so, but again, fingers crossed, right? For Kids He Goes Too, man.
Yeah.
All right, so up next we have Call My Bluff, right? So again, didn't even know it was Pharrell behind this, right? But the beat for this is so icy, boy, so menacing, but really low key, right? And for me, like how I picture it is almost like you just wake up and you find yourself tied up in some torture chamber and you're trying to figure out how you get there, right? That's how it feels, right? So basically, this is Pusha at doing Notorious B.I.G.'s What's Beef. More or less kind of talking this sort of relaxed, where like, yeah, right. I cool it though, but if you cross me, I know people who will get rid of you, Jen. I will just act as if nothing happened. I mean, not even a drop of sweat gonna come from me, Jen. I cool it though. So I love how this basically the vocal inflections on this is what makes it work on this track, right? How he just moves it, you know what I mean, like that, right? It reminds me a lot like Slick Rick, especially in the second verse where he actually does sample him. He does sample one of his lines or bars basically, right? But yeah, overall though, this works. I really like how it's just Pusha trying something different, right? So yeah, he's doing a little sing-songy stuff though, but it sounds so cold-blooded, Jed, and yeah, this track works for me, man. Yeah, so any thoughts on Call My Bluff?
Yeah, solid track. Good cool down from rock and roll for me. So it's just again, album placement matters. Like album placement really, really matters. Like for me, and you gotta have track follow this track, then build up from there, and that there's a kind of holism to it. And yeah, this is a solid track to follow up from to make it work as it is. So yeah, great cool down in my opinion. Great cool down from rock and roll, but it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Up next, a track I didn't see coming though, Scrape It Off, right? So I would say right off the bat, this should easily be accessible to younger rap fans, simply because, Don Toliver, who does the hook, and Lil Uzi Vert, who actually come through with a really decent verse, though, you know what I mean? And this is actually coming from somebody who not the biggest fan of Uzi Vert, right? But I don't laugh at him and think he's trash. Like I think ever so often he's come through with some bullshit, right? But
I was shocked how good he was in this track.
I know, right? Like
I was
especially
shocked.
Like,
wait, this
punchlines and stuff. Like
exactly,
he come through with Oxy, for example. I was like, what? Okay, the man mentioned Proxy, bro.
Right.
I mentioned Proxy. I do think I ever heard a rapper mention Proxy in a rap song ever, Jen. Like I was like, what? Okay, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just shocked that Lil Uzi Vert was this. Like, wait, this Uzi Vert would? No, I mean, look, it have a lot of rappers we like to laugh at, kind of thing, like the kind of jokes and this. But I would argue that it's just a style, and I don't know where to put them. Like it's same thing with this fella, Young Thug. right?
Yeah, yeah.
Young Thug was the butt of many jokes. I was like, Young Thug actually real good, you just had to know where to put him. And like
Exactly.
it have tracks I like him in because he just fit the cadence of the track so well. Like Pushin P. Young Thug is excellent at
Oh
Pushin
yeah.
P. Actually one of my
Yeah.
favorite verses of his. But but he still have that weird kind of,
Yeah, that
what-
slewed kind of like
right,
you
exactly. And it just
kind of vibe. Yeah.
you don't know again is there's what's the word I'm looking for? Orthogonality, just a nice lining up, everything had to line up right, and when you put them in the right space, they totally work. Yeah, and I was really surprised that Lil Uzi Vert was good in this. Like, word,
Yeah,
guys, how to use him, man.
he was. Yeah.
How to use him, man.
Right. So that's just the route of my thoughts on this track, right? And even like Push and all too, like he's clearly having fun on this track too, with
Right.
these cocky brags and threats. He always ends his lines with my boy, which works, right? So again,
Yeah.
try different verse styles and whatnot with his verses, right? I could easily see this being a single sometime very soon, just because of how accessible it sounds. Like I can imagine some youngsters just bumping this song too. You know what I mean? Even not even stopping at Uzi Vert's verse. They'll play this thing to the very end, man, for sure, right? So yeah, this actually worked out way better than expected, man. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Scream It Out?
Yeah. Again, big damn surprise that Lil Uzi would come true for this year. It's like, well, all right, well, would. Yeah, I don't know how to make a man utilize the track. And yeah, overall, it's just a solid thing track. But again, it's overshadowed by anticipation, unfortunately, for the next track that coming up. But yeah, and that's the problem. But yeah, only because of the following track, it I find myself anticipating it. Again, I haven't reached the point where I started skip tracks for this yet. So.
Right.
But you just find yourself kind of waiting and anticipating for it. But yeah, still a really solid verse. Again, the big surprise is Uzi Vert. It's a solid verse
from him. Yeah.
And how to make it work. It's like, I don't know how to use these dudes straight. And yeah, it was hard.
Indeed, yeah. So up next we have Hear Me Clearly. This is the second single from the album. And it's also a single from the new Nigo album, I Know Nigo, which I still have to listen to. I haven't to listen to this. Just haven't got the time to do so, right? It only took me a hot minute to realize that the hook actually interpolates a few Jeezy bars that he spit on Freemason. That Hear Me Clearly, that line there,
Yeah, right. Fuck all these fairy tales, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot it was all for Freemason, right? But really, what makes this song work too is just that beat, boy. That beat is just so cold-blooded and it fits Pusha so well, So he's just covered all these cold-blooded brags, but he just hitting you, boom, 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 boom. It's brash, it's aggressive, dude, but it's real cocky as hell too, Trent. So I just love how it all fits with the dark moodiness of the production itself, right? So yeah, great track, perfect decision to make this a single, man. So yeah, any thoughts on Hear Me Clearly?
Yeah, it's my second favorite track on the album. This again, just a goddamn fire beat. Just wake you up. It's one of them wake you up tracks. Like when they start playing, it's time to go. Time to get ready. I just really, really enjoy this track as it is just every time I play it, it's just a that boom boom and they're just bumping right through.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, boy. we going. The second favorite track on the album for me. Just really thoroughly enjoy it. But yeah, it's hard, real hard.
Right. So now we reach the penultimate track. This is Open Air, right? Now for me, right? I don't know for you, Ricardo, but they're gonna die. I have a feeling I'm gonna be stuck in my head for these.
Right.
Like it's something about how he says it. It just sounds so funny, Jared. But yeah, this is another favorite track of mine. Though Pharrell's production fits the whole drug dealing theme of this song brilliantly, though.
Yeah.
Especially these ominous organs that appear during the hook, though. Like it just makes it sound like so chilly, but like, oh shit, something bad's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So basically it's just Pusha talk about his deeds of drug dealing, but it's more like the reasoning behind him doing it. Like, yes, I do it, but there's a reason for it, right? It's not like I do it because the thrill, it's deeper than that, Trent. So but it's short, it's to the point though, and they have a lot of replay value, Trent, in my opinion. So love Open Air. Any thoughts on Open Air?
Yeah, great track. Again, the problem with it is that it ties into something.
It foreshadows something that's coming up. I know.
And it's like But this is the first time I was listening to it. When I was giving it the first listen, and I was like, wait, where Malice boy, where Malice? And then I checked the list, I'm like, oh, Malice on the last track, boy, way boy. And yeah, eventually we get to it. But yeah, this is again solid track for me. I can't say I love it. I mean, if it's anything, it'll probably be pound for pound the weakest track on the album for me personally. But it's still great. Like it's still a solid track for me. But yeah, eventually, when months and years pass, this will be the skippable, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, last but not least, right, I pray for you, right?
Yeah.
So, I am probably the only person in this world who hasn't jumped on the Euphoria hype train.
Right.
But I did hear that Labyrinth's work, like musical work on that series, is a highlight, right?
Yeah.
And basically, it's him and Kanye kind of joined forces to create this beat, right? It's haunting, it's grandiose, it has this church organ-driven beat, though, that just fits this mood, fits the vibe of the song perfectly, Trent. Labyrinth, comes through with a pretty low-key but well-sung intro. It's very heartfelt, you feel it. And then after that, boy, is one of music's most highly anticipated reunions, boy. Yes, Pusha reunites with No Malice.
Yes.
Or I should say he calls himself Malice now, which is like a perfect indication.
But I think,
maybe
don't hear it again.
Maybe.
Yeah, I studied it though, because I was like, wait, he called himself Malice again though. Like, what's going on though?
Yeah, that threw me off too.
Yeah, that Clips album, what's going on, boy?
That's what I feel he do that. I feel he do that on purpose to have us speculate if we're gonna get the next one, right? But yeah, boy, Pusha and Malice just come through with some top-notch lyricism, Trent. But for me, Malice's verse, Trent, is gonna go down as one of the year's best and most talked about rap verses, Trent, hands down. Like lyrically, the man has not lost a step. And I just love how, like, just in one verse alone, he sums up the whole 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot in the church focus. That whole Donda album, the whole 2 hours of Donda covered. Right. He covered that whole ground in his own way in like about under a minute. And it's brilliant. I love it. I love it. One of the best written verses of 2022. You hear that from me already? Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's what make the whole Kanye going Jesus and Donda and all of this stuff so frustrating. It's like, bro, No Malice right there though. Like, haul in, make an album together. Like, you're doing the Jesus thing. Like, the man right there. And they never do it. And like, to me, that I don't know, they could happen in the future, but to me, it's still a huge missed opportunity of
Kanye. He would have made Donda much better, in my opinion, right? If he was on it.
Much more interesting. But whatever. We get this bomb fire verse, dread, this bomb down the place, dread, Iraq, bomb down, that level. Like real dread this. Like word. We have a track here, boy.
I love how he ends it with the hint that maybe, just maybe, clips will return, I just love how they just end it off like that. Like, that was brilliant. So, I don't want to say it's a hell of a way to end the album off, but my God, it's a stellar way to end this album off, my God. But yeah, any more thoughts on I Pray For You?
Yeah, no, dog, this is a truly fantastic track here to end of the album on. It have I was just listening to it and it just have a cool chilling out. And this was all 3 o'clock in the morning, eh? I like, dog, I can't believe the man give you an excellent album on this level, Jen. It's a truly fantastic end point for what it is. But great album. Again, the organs really come together really well. Again, Kanye, brother, you need some help, but you bring the heat still. And this was great track. Oh gosh, what's his name? Labyrinth. Yeah. Great,
even great. The vocalizer he do in between verses so great though. I love it.
Because I only watched Euphoria season 1. I only enjoyed it for that thing. But yeah, he was a big standout for it. It's like, the music in this real hard though. Like, I could see again because Euphoria is not my beat. I kind of I'm a bit too old for it.
It's Gen Z shit. I realize
it's Gen Z. Yeah. No, the problem with it, there's a quick aside. It's not that it's just Gen Z. That would have been fine, but it's both Gen Z and Gen Z's drug culture. So I can't keep up. I could barely keep up with the Gen Z stuff, but I can't keep up with the Gen Z drug culture. So it's like it's not connecting to me. And then I watch the show and it's like, there's no skins, right? There's no skins. Like skins, right?
I remember you mentioned that with your review last time. Yeah.
Right. So it is like if I wasn't into skins, I wouldn't be into this. Like I understand why it's popular. And Zendaya is a national treasure, but
of course she is.
Right, but anyway, whatever. Point is, Labyrinth is fantastic in this. He really comes together, and this whole thing ties together so well. so goddamn well. It's such a great way to wrap up the track. So yeah, wrap up the album. So yeah, that's just me for that.
Yeah, agreed. So in closing, before I get to my rating, right? So final thoughts, right? So yeah, for me, it's almost dry is great too. I would say it stands on its own as a 2020s Pusha T album. But like I said, earlier on, if you still have Daytona, this high pedestal, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much, right? But to be fair, I don't think that that Pusha was trying to outdo, what he himself, like what he did
exactly.
on Daytona anyway. It's just like, yo, I haven't put out an album in 4 years yet, so let me just do my thing now, please. And y'all could debate as to whether this is the better album or what, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, look, like the man always puts consistency into his work, dread, and get that here, right? Just the bars are just fire, just flames from start to end. Though I just love how he always switches things up. He never stays in a comfort zone. He always switches his style up. His vocals, all that kind of stuff. He does that well, right? Well here, and like I said also too, Daytona was like, okay, it's lean. There's no room for error. Here it's just like I could relax. I could move. I could stretch my legs out a little bit and, kind of relax a little bit. I don't have to think about trying to get a lot done in a short period of time. I think this album was like, 10 minutes longer than Daytona, roughly, But, yeah, I mean, he just came through with another solid album. For me, just in closing, how you had to look at it is really in terms of building his discography. Like, think about it like that. Like, every album he is going to drop is going to be fire. Just because it's not better than the last one doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that you just kind of prefer one over the other. But it is what it is, right? So, and this is just yet another reason why he should be brought up in terms of goat lister in terms of who deserve to be ranked amongst the greatest MCs of all time, man. So not perfect, but still one of his best releases in my opinion, man. So for me, strong 4 to a very light 4.5 out of 5, man.
Yeah.
This isn't the best album of 2022 at the moment. Like, at the moment, it is still Five Dogs Forever. But, hey, my boy, Kendrick is going to be dropping that album very soon. So I can't wait for that. I have a slot that is a top 5 slot, clear for him one time. But believe you me, this is an album. This album here in particular is going to be one that I will be bumping until I drop my best of 2022 list and onwards, man. So that's all I have to say. So, Ricardo, your final thoughts, man.
Yeah, again, as I say, my working comparison, again, my basic bitch comparison, so ignore my opinions in that sense. But yeah, if Daytona was still matic, this is Godson. Right? Not as good, but still really, really poignant and interesting. A lot of great lyrics and moments. A lot of bangers, just that Super Mario line still have me dread. And everything just come together. And yeah, again, it just not as lean, not as focused, but still good. And again, it's more experimental and, as they say, relaxed. And yeah, for what it is, I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So yeah, not disappointed at all. 4 out of 5 for me, like closer 8 out of 10, more like that.
Nice.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, right. So 2022 giving us some heat, man. So can't wait to add early on in the year to it, which is what blowing my mind right now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait to hear what other fiery albums we get this year, man. But yeah, this one though is certainly worth listening to, man.
Yeah.